I'll Give You the Sun, Chapter 5, Section 6. I nod, grab a knife, and cut an enormous slice, a quarter of the pan practically, and put it on a dinner plate. Then I take a turnover. Since I've become King Kong, I can't get enough food in me ever. I'm heading over to the table with my full plate, the smell making me want to walk on my hands, when Jude's bad mood ambles in. The eye roll is a 10.5 on the Richter, the big one. California has slipped into the ocean. She puts her hands on her hips, exasperated. What's your problem, Noah? How'd you get free anyway? I say, my mouth full of turnover. Free? Mom asks. I tied her up so she wouldn't be tempted to come in here and eat. Mom laughs. Jude, I know you're furious with me. It doesn't mean you can't have a turnover for breakfast. Never! She walks across the room and takes a box of Cheerios from a cabinet and pours some into a sad old bowl. I think I used up all the milk, Mom says. Oh, of course you did, Jude cries, sounding a lot like a brain donkey. She sits down next to me, crunching and martyring her way through the bowl of dry cereal, eyeing my plate the whole time. When Mom's back is turned, I slide it over to her with the fork, and she shovels pastry in until her mouth is stuffed and slides it back over. It's this moment that Brian Connolly comes through the door. I knocked, he says nervously. He's older, taller, hatless, and he's cut his hair. The white bonfire is gone. I involuntarily jump up, then sit down, then jump up again, because this is what normal people do when someone walks into a room, right? Jude kicks me under the table, gives me a look that says, stop being a freak, then tries to smile at Brian, but her mouth is too stuffed with pie, so she makes a weird, disfigured chipmunk face at him. I certainly can't talk because I'm too busy jumping up and down. Fortunately, there's Mom. Well, hello! She wipes her hands on her apron, walks over, and shakes his hand. Welcome back. Thank you, he replies. Good to be back. He takes a deep breath. We can smell what you're baking all the way down at our house. We were salivating over our cornflakes. Please, Mom says, help yourself. I'm going through a little cooking phase and certainly bring something back for your mother. Brian looks at the counter with longing. Maybe later. His eyes travel to me. He licks his bottom lip, and the gesture, so familiar, makes my heart lurch. Somewhere in between up and down, I've frozen, humpbacked, arms swinging monkey-like. I register how crazy I look and the puzzled expression on his face. I choose up. Woo! Up was the right move. I'm standing. I'm a person on legs, which are designed for this purpose, and he's 5 feet away now. 4, 3, 2, he's in front of me. Brian Connolly is standing in front of me. What's left of his hair is a deep, buttery yellow. His eyes, his amazing, squinting eyes are going to make me lose consciousness. There's nothing hiding them anymore. I'm surprised all the passengers didn't follow him off the plane and aren't waiting outside the door. I want to draw him now. I want to do everything now. Portrait, self-portrait, 2 boys racing into brightness. I try to calm myself by counting his freckles to see if there are any that are new. Stare much? He says quietly so that only I hear. Practically the first words he ever said to me all those months ago. His lips curl into the half smile, catch his tongue poised on the precipice between his front teeth. You look different, I say, wishing it didn't come out so dreamily. Me? Dude, you're huge. I think you're bigger than me. How'd that happen? I glance down. Yeah, super far from the toes now. This is something I've been thinking a lot about. My toes are pretty much in another time zone. He cracks up, and then I do, and the sound of our laughter getting all mixed up together is like a time machine, and we're instantly back to last summer, the days in the woods, the nights on his roof. We haven't talked in 5 months, and we both look like different people, but it's the same, same. I notice Mom watching us curiously, intently, not totally comprehending what she's seeing, like we're some foreign movie with no subtitles. Brian turns to Jude, who's finally managed to get her food down. "Hey," he says. She waves, then goes back to her dry Cheerios. It's true. There's nothing between them. It was probably like being in an elevator with a stranger in that closet. I get a pang of guilt over what I did in that closet. "Where the hell is Ralph? Where the hell is Ralph?" "Oh my God," Brian exclaims. "I forgot. I can't believe I've gone months without thinking about the whereabouts of Ralph." "Quite an existential dilemma that parrot has put us all in," Mom says, smiling at him. He returns her smile, then meets my eyes. "Ready?" he says, like we have some plan. I notice he doesn't have his meteorite bag, and see out the window it's probably going to pour any minute, but we need to get out of here immediately. "We're going to search for meteorites," I say, like that's what most people do on winter mornings. I never really told either of them too much about last summer, which is reflected in both of their flummoxed faces. But who freaking cares? Not us. In a flash, we're through the door, across the street, and into the woods, running for no reason and laughing for no reason and totally out of breath and out of our minds when Brian catches me by the shirt, whips me around, and with one strong hand flat against my chest, he pushes me against a tree and kisses me so hard I go blind. The blindness lasts just a second, then the colors start flooding into me, not through my eyes, but right through my skin, replacing blood and bone, muscle and sinew, until I am red, doral, blue, green, purple, yellow, red, orange, blue, green, purple, yellow. Brian pulls away and looks at me. "Fuck," he says. "I've wanted to do that for so long." His breath's on my face. "So long. You're just..." He doesn't finish. Instead, he brushes my cheek with the back of his hand. The gesture is startling, atom-splitting, because it's so unexpected, so tender, as is the look in his eyes. It makes my chest ache with joy, horses plunging into rivers joy. "God," I whisper, it's happening." "Yeah, it is." I think the heart of every living thing on earth is beating in my body. I run my hands through his hair, finally, then bring his head to mine and kiss him so hard our teeth collide, planets collide, kissing him now for each and every time we didn't all summer long. I know absolutely everything about how to kiss him too, how to make his whole body tremble just from biting his lip, how to make him moan right inside my mouth by whispering his name, how to make his head fall back, his spine arch, how to make him groan through his teeth. It's like I've taken every class there is on the subject, and even as I'm kissing him and kissing him and kissing him, I wish I were kissing him, wanting more, like I can't get enough, never will be able to get enough. "We're them," I think, say, stopping for a moment to catch my breath, my life, our mouths inches apart, our foreheads pressed together now. "Who?" His voice is a rasp. It creates an immediate riot in my blood, so I can't tell him about the guys in the alcove at the party. Instead, I place my hands under his shirt because I can now. I can do everything I've thought about. I touch the river of his stomach, his chest and shoulders. He whispers the word "yeah" under his breath, which makes me shudder, which makes him shudder, and then his hands travel under my shirt, and the demanding, hungry feel of them on my skin burns me to the ground. Love. I think and don't say it. Don't say it. Don't tell him you love him. But I do. I love him more than anything. I close my eyes and drown in color, open them and drown in light because billions and billions of buckets of light are being emptied on our heads from above. This is it. This is freaking everything. This is the painting itself. And that's what I'm thinking when the asteroid comes crashing into us. No one can know, he says, ever. I step back, look at him. In an instant, he's turned into a siren. The whole forest goes mum. He doesn't want anything to do with what he just said either. He says more calmly, it'd be the end of everything. My athletic scholarship at Forrester, I'm the assistant captain of the varsity team as a sophomore, and I want him to be quiet. I want him back with me. I want his face to look the way it did a minute ago when I touched his stomach, his chest, when he brushed my cheek with his hand. I lift up his shirt, slip it over his talking head, then take off my own and step into him so we're all lined up, legs to legs, groin to groin, bare chest to bare chest. His breath hitches. We fit perfectly. I kiss him slowly and deeply until the only word he can manage is my name. He says it again and again until we're two lit candles melting into one. No one's going to find out, don't worry, I whisper, not caring if everyone in the world knows, not caring about anything except more now him and me under the open sky as the thunder cracks and the rain comes down.